We are dealing with the inverse of rational functions. Remember, rational means fraction. So we got a fraction going on here. And then I like to say function is where the letter's at. So there's a letter or variable inside our fraction here. And mainly what makes a fraction is usually the bottom here, but I suppose they can also be having it on top. But we can always just pull it out, any of the constants out in front if it were just on top. So usually a rational function means the letter does have to be on the bottom. But we'll see if we have anything else. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive in. So our first step is to rewrite the problem, f of x. Let's just read it. Here's the function, and right here, and we're find the f inverse. Remember, f to the negative 1 actually means f inverse. Negative 1 is not the reciprocal operation. It is the inverse function. So context matters here. All right, so first thing is we write our problem, f of x equals 4x divided by 4x minus 5. Can I cancel these 4x's out? Remember, no, it is this bottom one's trapped by that minus 5. Okay, so our next step is to change our function notation to y equals. This is just sort of a helpful step, but yeah, we'll go ahead and just stick to what we've been doing. All right, next step is switch the letters. All right, let's go ahead and switch the letters, and we'll get x equals 4y over 4y minus 5. Okay, and then we need to get our y's by itself. And already I can see it's going to be a little bit tricky because we have several y's involved here. So usually our technique is we want to kind of put them together in some way and see if anything kind of happens that way. So let's see. What happens if well, let's just go ahead and start moving things over and get rid of these rationals. So let's multiply both sides by 4y minus 5. 4y minus 5. Be very careful, you need parentheses right here. All right, now I'm not going to distribute it because then that's going to trap it even more so. So we'll go ahead and just rewrite it. I have 4y minus 5 times x equals, these reduce out, and we're just left with 4y. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and let's see, what do I want to do? Let's divide both sides by y, I guess. I'll try it. So divide this side by y, divide this side by y. Okay, so now we have 4y minus 5 times x over y. Okay, equals, we still have a 4 on the right. Divide both sides by x. And we get this x and this x cancel. See, I need to start clearing some room. A lot more work than I thought it was going to be on this one. It's okay. Go from there. Be nice if we just erase a big block, but that's fine too. Kind of be thinking about what you would do in this stage. All right, sorry it's taken so long just to erase, but that's what we got to deal with. All right, and that will clean everything, so I don't want to do that. All right, and then let's see what we have. We now have 4y, I don't want to skip any steps right here, minus 5. All over y, the x's cancel, equals 4 over x. All right. Now, here's where we got to kind of be a little bit careful. Now, notice that both of these are being divided by y. So let's look at it that way. So each term is being divided by y on the left. So that's 4y divided by y. Minus 5 divided by y. There we go. Equals 4 over x. So just go ahead and follow the normal steps and hopefully things will kind of work themselves out. The y's right here cancel and we get 4 minus 5 over y. Well, it's taking a lot longer than I thought, but let's just do what we got to do. There might have been a better way. We'll see what his answer was. And let's move everything over. So getting y by itself, let's go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides. Minus 4 minus 4. And I get negative 5 over y equals 4 over x minus 4. Oh, wow. Being tricky. All right. Let's go ahead and make the right side just one fraction so we can do the reciprocal technique, or sometimes students like to think of it as cross multiply, but if you remember Sanders, I'm not a big fan of cross multiply. So I now have minus 5, so I'll be doing the reciprocal on this one, over y equals, common denominator is going to be an x. So let's go ahead and just help ourselves right here a little bit. So this 4 is negative 4 is really negative 4 over 1. Common denominator is x. So we're going to multiply top and bottom times x right here. And that now gives us 4 minus 4x over x. All right. Now we can do my reciprocal technique. You can't do it here because what you do to one side, you got to do the other side. And as you can see, it would not be the same if I flip both right here. So that now becomes y over negative 5. Remember, that negative sign doesn't matter where it goes, top, bottom, or in front. So I went ahead and took it from in front to put it on top. And then when I flip, just kept it on the bottom just to make the math look a little bit easier. That means this side is x over 4 minus x, 4x. And multiply both sides by negative 5. Let's change colors just so it's a little bit easier. This side times negative 5. Almost there. This side times negative 5. That's just going to go to the top on the left. And we have y, finally, y equals negative 5x over 4 minus 4x. All right. And then we just want to write it in function notation. So instead of y, we would say f of negative 1 of x. Equals that. All right, and there's our answer. Okay, let's see how we did. Whew. All right, negative 5x divided by. Is that okay to have the negative sign in front there? Yes, it is, not a problem. On the bottom is 4 minus 4x. And just confirm, don't want to do all this work and make a mistake when I'm typing it. And submit. Check. All right, so there's all my steps. Let's see how they did it. All right, so first thing they did, change the f of x to y, correct, that's what we did. Switch x and y, that's correct, all the x's turned to y now. Multiply both sides by 4y minus 5, that's what we did. He distributed, okay, that's fine. Then move the x, or move all the y's to one side, everything that has a y together, okay. And then he factored the y, okay, so factored the y out. So get all our y's together again, factor the y out, and then divide both sides by 4x minus 4. So that may have been a little bit easier of a step if you know how to factor. But the technique is get all your y's to one side and then see what happens. So my technique was a little bit different, but answers are the same. Okay, wow. So what's the difference between these two? They notice the order is a little bit different. So if I would distribute my negative sign to the bottom, so that's what happened here. The negative sign got distributed to the bottom. So if that negative sign distributes to the bottom, this becomes a positive 4x. This becomes a negative 4. So it would be 5x minus 4 plus 4x. And then if I just put the 4x and negative 4 and switch the order there, addition is commutative, so I can just switch the order there, then I get exactly the same thing they have. Woo! All right. That took a long time. Let's see what the next one's like. All right, it looks, we only got one X this time, so this one should actually be a little bit easier style of a problem. So just be careful, do your best on these.